We're back in the sea and we're back talking about Wrexham Football Club as usual, and we're going to be reviewing what has been a big week at the football club. We're going to be talking injury news, contract extension news, we're going to be talking about memberships, we're going to be talking about big plans that Wrexham have revealed ahead of next season for our pre-season tour. All the updates and all the details will be coming on those subjects that I've just talked about. But before we get going in today's video, if you are looking for the best Wrexham AFC content, make sure to get down there and click the red subscribe button. It's free to do. If you are looking for Wrexham content, like I said, it's the news that's going to be coming out frequently from the football club onto this channel. We're going to be covering it. Every single bit of news you want to hear will be on this channel. So like I said, it's free, it doesn't cost a penny, and as well, let's go for 500 likes on today's video. And without further ado, let's get reviewing what has been a very busy week for the club. Starting on injury news, now we're going to get sort of the bad news out of the way early on now, ahead of what is going to be a really important week for the club in the preparation for our big FA Cup game against Chelsea. One of the biggest FA Cup fixtures in this club's history, and arguably one of the biggest fixtures in the club's entire existence, as we do take on, one of the most decorated football clubs of all time in terms of trophies and just their presence in world football. They are probably regarded as the top 10 biggest clubs in world football, so it's a massive test. Manager Phil Parkinson has issued an injury update on a few key players who are currently sidelined, and before recording this video, I've also heard the news as well regarding another player that's going to be out injured. So there's a couple of names that have been sidelined, which isn't ideal because we want to have the strongest squad possible to cause a massive upset against Chelsea, but unfortunately you don't get everything you want, and that isn't going to be the case. Starting with Ben Sheaf. Now, Ben Sheaf went to see a specialist earlier last week, and he also went for a scan at the same time, and the worst has been confirmed. Phil Parkinson did obviously say that he thinks Ben Sheaf will be out for a long time, and it has been confirmed. The midfielder obviously sustained that ligament injury at home to Ipswich Town in that 5-3 win, went off straight away. It was going to be a bad one with Phil Parkinson's words in the post-match interview, and Sheaf will most likely miss the rest of the season and is expected to make a full recovery by around mid-May time. So it's annoying because it's just after the season ends, but again, we're going to have to call upon those players that might not have played as many minutes. Phil Parkinson, of course, has said that he has organised an in-house friendly for the players that haven't gained minutes, so I think it's sort of not an injury crisis, but we're going to the players that we haven't really called upon at all this season, so they're going to need to be fully fit and ready to obviously step up to the task, which is secure that playoff spot at the end of the season for us, because we're arguably losing one of our best midfielders at the business end of the Championship season, which again is not good news at all. Matty James as well is likely to be unavailable for our game against Chelsea and our league game next week against Hull City due to a fracture in his toe, not healing as quickly as they hoped, which again is a massive miss because Sheaf and Matty James have probably been our two best midfielders this season, and for those two to be out obviously at the same time, it was back-to-back games, one went out injured and then the other did, so it's not great at all. James will remain in a protective boot for the next 10 days at maximum, so we're likely to see Matty James return to action the following weekend after. Libby Kakachi as well is making progress after sustaining a hamstring injury at home to Millwall. It's still unknown when Kakachi will return to the Wrexham squad. It's been a bit of a hit and miss start for Kakachi at life in North Wales for Wrexham, because I can't count probably on one hand the amount of injuries that he's had so far this season. It's really disappointing because the minute you think Kakachi's having a good run of form, he does have a good, one or two games under his belt, and then bang, he's out for the next 5 or 6 games. It's very disappointing. And if we are finishing off with George Dobson, it was confirmed today by Phil Parkinson that he's had a minor operation on his wrist. Obviously against Charlton Athletic last weekend, he did suffer a broken wrist. Again, it just seems like the injuries are just piling and piling up, and to have 3 of those be out obviously in the midfield area isn't great at all, because that's probably been the most important area for Wrexham this season, one of the most important reasons why we are where we are, and to have the 3 best players that have contributed to that out for a game against Chelsea and then a massive league game against Hull next week is really disappointing. But talking positively on George Dobson and his fellow midfield companion Ollie Rathbone, I'm a bit late to the news, but it's great to see that those two have put pen to paper to sign contract extensions at the club until the end of the 27-28 season. thoroughly deserved, as it's two players, like I said, that have had really strong impacts on our season so far. They've really stepped up their game. Obviously, they ended last season in League One, both of them did, on very rich vein of form, and to carry that on into the Championship, a much more competitive and demanding league, is really good, and I'm really happy for them personally. Dobson as well, especially at times last year, he was on the bench and he wasn't our main choice midfielder, but he's just stepped it up a level. I don't know what he did in pre-season, I don't know what he got up to, but I think a few people were surprised to see him step up that level, because I don't think a few people think he had that in him. So we are going to be talking on the memberships, and I hate to be negative on the channel, but I think it is just a subject and a topic that does need touching on, because there seems to be, I wouldn't say uproar, but there seems to be a lot of disagreement amongst fans, and there seems to be a lot of just annoyance regarding the current ticket situation for the FA Cup game against Chelsea. Now, following the release of the tickets yesterday at midday, it seems as if the club needs to be doing something in terms of memberships. Of course, me being a season ticket holder, I'm very fortunate and I'm so lucky that I don't have to go through the hassle of trying to get tickets every single week, because I think it would genuinely drive me insane. But speaking on, behalf of a season ticket holder, my thoughts on the situation regarding the memberships, there's unfortunately been a couple of instances on social media and through obviously people saying that there are Chelsea fans buying Wrexham memberships in the hope that they will go out and enter obviously the 12 o'clock release date for the tickets and get tickets in the home end. And do I dare say it, there is a chance that there are going to be a few Chelsea fans in the home end on Saturday, which is very disappointing and is something that was so easily avoidable by Wrexham. And it's disappointing because, you've seen some of the fans on social media, some of the fans, don't get me wrong, no one at this club is more entitled to tickets than others, especially not in the instance of long-term fans, because they've supported the club for decades, and they might have racked up, if Wrexham had loyalty points in place, they would have racked up so many over the past couple of years. But to see that they have the same chance of getting a home ticket for what is one of our biggest games in decades, as a Chelsea fan who is going to be, attempting to get a ticket in the home end, is really, really disappointing. I think it could have been handled a lot better by the club. And don't get me wrong, we wouldn't be anywhere and we wouldn't have the commercial revenue, the funding spend, had it not been for the worldwide fans. But I think just in this instance, I think they do need to understand that there does need to be something in place that, we're seeing fans from Canada, from America, and this is no dig at them at all, but they're fans that are just coming over because it's a big game. You've got, on the other hand, lifelong Wrexham fans, and I know people that have missed out on tickets that have been going for years upon years that wanted to get tickets for this game, but to see them miss out because someone fancies it because it's the biggest game this club has seen in years and doesn't have any interest in going to any games after this, I do think is very disappointing. And I think it would have been an easy situation to be avoided if they would have just either given a loyalty system out at the start of the season for fans, going back, whether it's pre or post takeover, whatever, or the simple solution was, after this got announced, just freeze the memberships, because anyone who's interested in getting tickets will have brought their membership at the start of the season. They would have had that, they'd have attempted to get tickets all throughout the season and over the past couple of years. To see, probably there is going to be a surge in membership purchases, and don't get me wrong, it's funding going into the club, but you're looking on the behalf of the fans that have supported this club for years, for them to be possibly missing out because a Chelsea fan is in the home end for, a Wrexham game. It's just really disappointing. I think the club could have handled this better, and I think the club will be fully aware of the reaction of fans on social media regarding the memberships and the attempting to get tickets for this massive cup game. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a dig at the worldwide fans, this isn't a dig at the Canadian, American, Australian, whatever. It's really brilliant to see them supporting the football club, and I'm so happy that we have such a big worldwide fan base. But in this instance, if they're fans that are looking to get tickets for this game just because it's a one-off and it's a big game, over fans who have been die-hard Wrexham fans going home and away for the past couple of years, I do think it's very disappointing. Finishing off the video on a very positive note, we're going to be talking about our pre-season tour. Yes, it's that time of the year. I don't know how, because this season and even League One last season, this season absolutely flew by, and it's that time of year where we talk about Wrexham's pre-season plans and it is a big one this summer. Wrexham return back to the United States of America to participate in the Summer Soccer Series hosted by TEG Sport, where Wrexham will take on Leeds United, Liverpool and Sunderland, all of which currently play their football in the top tier of English football, the Premier League. So further details on the pre-season tour: on the 25th of July we take Leeds United on at the James Stadium in Tampa Bay, which hosts 75,000 fans. It's home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFL. July 29th, Liverpool at the Yankee Stadium in New York, capacity of 46,537. And the 2nd of August, we take on Sunderland at Subaru Park, where Wrexham have played before, in Philadelphia, with a capacity of 18,500. Some incredible stadiums that Wrexham will be conquering, especially Leeds United in a 75,000-seater stadium, home of, a famous NFL team, the Buccaneers. To see Wrexham play again, Leeds United, a very historical side, but the main standout one for me, Liverpool, the Yankee Stadium, Wrexham versus Liverpool in New York. Imagine saying that to a Wrexham fan 5 years ago. What an occasion it's going to be. This will be a really good occasion for the worldwide fans to, watch Wrexham against some of the biggest teams in English football, if not European football. So an incredible experience for the fans, the staff, the players of the club, because you don't see these often, especially for championship teams. As well as it being a great opportunity, like I've just highlighted, for the players, the staff, the fans, etc., it'll yet again be another amazing week for Wrexham on the commercial side of things. We've seen how much we have benefited off the previous 2 pre-season tours in America and in Australia. So playing in a series against 3 top-tier sides is going to be very beneficial for the players and the club commercially, because you could be looking at appearance fees, whilst the club will also be heavily benefiting off commercial revenue, merch sales, ticket revenue, sponsorships, and overall it's just a really good opportunity to further grow our worldwide fan base, because we've seen how big it is at Wrexham Football Club in a minute. It is a lot, and we've seen the tens and thousands of fans in different countries across the world. So playing against some big teams in some big stadiums in a tournament, you could say, I don't know if it is a tournament, but it'll be heavily broadcasted and pushed by the Premier League side, so it's only going to draw eyeballs onto the event and hopefully bring more fans into Wrexham Football Club. So that is it for today's video. It's a bit of a short one today, but there will be a Chelsea preview out tomorrow, because my God, we're 48 hours away from playing Chelsea in the FA Cup, so there'll be everything you need to know on that game coming out on the channel tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss it. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And as well, YouTube have brought out this hype points thing. I think it's next to the comment section, so if you could hype the video, that would be massively appreciated. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Up the Worldwide Reds.